Hello, everyone. I'm Dova.
And I'm Chloe.
And welcome to Alter Egos.
Does it look intentionally like I gave myself an eyebrow slit?
No, but I can see it and I think it looks cute.
Okay, the other day I was talking to my friend. We were at brunch, and I was talking to my friend about eyebrow pencils and how I had just found a good one I really liked because I need those like inky ones to cover up this scar because it's a scar.
Oh.
And she's like, well, you don't have to. And I was like, I mean, I guess I don't, but otherwise I look like I have a slit in my brow. And she's like, so? And I was like, well, I already drive a Subaru. I feel like I'm not going to beat the lesbian allegations if I have a slit in my eyebrow. But I was thinking about it more and I was like, it is a part of my history. I should maybe just like stop filling it in. So anyway, I didn't today.
I don't think I know the story of how you got that.
It's such a stupid story. It's not like a cool, like, oh,
Tell
I fell
it.
off of a motorcycle. Well, when I was like 7 years old, we had just gotten a new puppy. Her name was Lily.
Aww.
And she was really cute. She was like a lab mix. And one day I was chasing her around in the backyard and I was like running forward. And instead of her running forward away from me, she decided to run back toward me and she tripped me. And I smashed my face on, we had a concrete terrace and with like concrete edging. And I smashed my eye on like a piece of like a cinder block, basically. And it was so humiliating because it was right before school started and it scabbed over so huge, like this big of a scab. And so I had to start, I think, the second grade with this giant, disgusting, like purple, green, and brown scab over my eyebrow. And it was horrible, but it left a scar and now there's no hair that grows right in this little spot. So maybe I
think I've seen it before, but I've never really paid attention. But I always thought it was cute, and it's something that you could maybe highlight your makeup around.
On TikTok the other day, I saw someone that like intentionally, like a girl that intentionally shaved one in. Yeah. And I was like, I have one of those. I guess I could just stop filling it in with eyebrow pencil.
That's very funny because Khalil actually is into that look now. So I give him an eyebrow slit. I gave him one right before the basketball game we went to on Friday.
Oh yeah, it looks nice.
It's funny because the first time I did it, I sent it to his family and Khalil's sister, Amber, who is a lesbian, was like, that's a lesbian thing to do. And Khalil Khalil goes, well, it's because I am a lesbian.
I love that. I feel like Khalil probably thinks I'm low-key copying him because I swear Khalil got his nose pierced, then I got my nose pierced. Khalil got like gold-rimmed glasses that were like this, then I got gold-rimmed glasses like that. Khalil gets an eyebrow slit and I decide to let my freak fly. I feel like I'm secretly copying Khalil.
He is a trendsetter.
He's a trendsetter. I swear every time I see him, I'm like, wow, that's a nice nose ring. Got the same nose ring. I'm like, that's a nice pair of glasses. Get a very similar pair of glasses. I hope he takes it as a compliment.
It is. What is the word? Mockery is the highest form of flattery.
Not mockery. Imitation. Oh. Okay. Mockery is mean.
I recently told Khalil something like that because he was like copying me. And I was like, you know what? Mockery is the highest form of flattery. And now I realize I sound like an idiot.
You know what else just caught my eye that is about to send me into the stratosphere is the pants behind you.
Did anybody notice it last episode? Because she's
last
episode
there. Was so intense that I wasn't paying attention, but I just saw a glimpse.
Yeah, she's just up there doing her thing. She's our new mascot.
So funny.
I had someone someone comment on them saying, please do not let the K-pop stans find this outfit because that is something they would wear.
Yeah, it is.
It's an interesting look. Well, I did go to a basketball game on Friday.
Yes, you did. So it was Golden State against who?
Against the Phoenix Suns.
The Phoenix Suns, right.
It was depressing. It was a really sad... We lost. And Damn. You know what? This is the second time we've gotten to see Steph Curry now. The first time sucked really bad because I bought Khalil tickets as a gift, me and him. I spent all the money I earned at when I worked at the game center. It was expensive. I think the tickets were like $1,400. I spent all the money for us to get like, I think we were row 10 or 11. So we were really close. And the Warriors got blown out so bad that like Steph Curry only played 10 minutes. And
oh my God.
So I spent $1,400
and that's like the whole point for Khalil.
Yes, he loves Steph Curry. And so then this time we go, and this game is pretty big because it's a play-in game. So it's this new, I guess, not concept, but this new thing that they've added into the NBA for like the playoffs to see, is it one or I think two teams to be able to get into the playoffs. And so it's a one and done game. And Golden State won their first game, and it was such a good game. They played give me a second, who was it? Was it the Clippers? They played the Clippers, and it was such an intense game. We watched it at his parents' house. It was a great game. And so as soon as the game was about to end, Chloe was like, oh my gosh, they're going to play the Suns. They're going to be here. Buy tickets. So we got tickets. I think we paid $500 for row. Bad. Yeah, for row 24. So we're pretty close to them.
You got a good view.
Yeah. And the game was good, but again, one of their players decided, one of the Phoenix Suns players decided to pop the fuck off, and Golden State lost. And, you know, Steph Curry's career is, I mean, father time is going to catch up to him. He's 37 or 38 years old. And so,
oh my God,
man, we are really hoping we get to get another good season with him. But it was really sad. However, our ride up to the stadium.
Did you guys drive?
No, we got a lift. And we had this lady pick us up, which was fun because I've never had a female Lyft driver ever. So I was like, ooh, this is going to be interesting. Yeah. And she had an intense RBF. So in my head, I was thinking, oh, okay, she's probably just going to have her music on and do her thing, which is what I prefer from a Lyft. I don't want to talk. And then and she was quiet the whole ride until we got on I-10. And then she just started talking, and it turned into like a therapy session for her.
Oh.
She is, she's a single mom of 2 kids, and she said she had a rough upbringing, and she had actually just finished like a court hearing.
She's laying it out there.
Yes. She said that she had a kid with her high school sweetheart, and they broke up a few years ago. So now I think they're in some kind of custody situation, but also her ex-baby daddy's new girlfriend was her friend from high school, and she's talking about how she wanted to beat her ass every single day and all this stuff. So we kind of just got a full wow. we had her full life.
Were you guys responding, or was she just like,
oh my gosh,
I'm sure you weren't like ignoring her.
No, I try to be as, you know, as supportive. I don't know the words, but I was telling the story to Khalil's parents, and I was like, this was me and Khalil's face the entire drive. We were like, oh, okay, wow, yeah. And it was funny because she asked us if we had kids, and we're like, no. And she's like, oh, don't worry. Like, once you get to my age, you'll get there. And I just kind of smiled. And she's like, wait, how old are you guys? And we're like 30. And she's like, oh, shit, I'm 28. Never mind, y'all. She's like, that's probably why you guys live in the house you do, and I'm over here being your Lyft driver. And I was like, oh, my God. But yeah, it was a fun little, the drive went by really fast because of her talking. But
dude, I've only had a couple of weird like Uber drivers or like Lyft driver experiences. One of them was when it was like after a night out with one of my friends, and she was beyond wasted. Like I had to literally throw her in the Uber. Like she was like basically dead. I don't know how it happened, but she like just suddenly was gone, and I was like, oh fuck, we gotta go. And we get into this Uber, and it's just like an older middle-aged white man. And I'm like, okay, you know, I don't like when it's always a little bit uncomfortable when you're like alone in a car with a man and then you're going to your house.
Yes.
And I was taking her to her house where she was staying alone at the time. Anyway, but he seemed really normal. He was asking us about our night, whatever. We were joking around. And then all of a sudden he goes into the craziest, most unhinged tangent about how 9/11 was an inside job. And meanwhile, I'm in the backseat trying to keep my friend like conscious. I'm like, girl, wake up, you know, and trying to engage with this man in a way that's not like, holy fuck, he's freaking me out. He was like so intense and weird. Like it almost seemed like he's been waiting like 50 years just to tell somebody about all of his theories. And like, I love a good conspiracy theory. I don't love it at 11 p.m. in a dark car with my semi-unconscious friend in my lap, like not like trying not to barf.
Yeah.
And then I had another Uber driver. One time I went to LA for work and he was driving me from the airport to the hotel and he seemed really normal, was asking me stuff. We were talking, whatever. And then all of a sudden he starts asking me about Bitcoin. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, I haven't really gotten into the crypto thing. Gives me this whole spiel about Bitcoin. He's like, listen, if you're not into crypto right now, you're going to be left behind. Do you want to be left behind? And I was like, no. And he's like, here, let me show you what I'm doing. As he's driving, he turns around to show me his phone where he has his like crypto app open. And I'm like, maybe we could do this when we're not driving. And he's like, oh, no, it's fine. And he's like looking at me, turned around in the front seat. And I'm like, oh, wow, very nice. He's showing me his like crypto portfolio. But meanwhile, I'm like, okay, but you're still driving for Uber, buddy. Like, this isn't that impressive.
Right. I know. Dude, you can't.
And then we get to the hotel,
bros.
And he turns around and he's like, I don't want you to get left behind. So when you
How
get
old
home,
is he?
He was like 40 or something. I was like, 20. No, I was like 30 at the time. And he goes, when you get home after this business trip, I hope you'll join me in crypto. And I was like, what the fuck?
Oh my gosh.
What do you, sir?
Yeah.
Where did you get the audacity?
Something happened where like during the pandemic and post-pandemic
this was in 2022.
A lot of guys got into crypto and stocks first. I mean, I guess there was just nothing to do and the stock market was going crazy, so everyone just started buying and making crazy money with it. But it is crazy because Cole and I have a friend who used to play World of Warcraft, which is like this long-going old computer game. And back in like, I think he said like 2012, maybe, they used to use Bitcoin as like currency in the game to like sell stuff. And so he used to have a lot of Bitcoin, and I can't imagine how he feels now. Like, knowing.
Did you hear about that guy? The guy who he traded like 20 Bitcoin in exchange for a pizza, for someone to deliver him a pizza.
Yeah.
Like before Bitcoin popped off. And now the person who has that 20 Bitcoin is like a millionaire. And I always think about that guy that for a pizza. A pizza!
Yeah, Khalil has that with NVIDIA too, because we used to have a lot of NVIDIA before it popped off. So
there's like
I'm
no
like,
way to
how
know.
Do you? I know. I tell him like, how can you sleep at night knowing like we could be insanely rich right now, but like you just decided to sell it for like other random stocks? And he's like, I think it takes a level of what is the word, like emotional dissonance or something to not think about that kind of stuff, because I think that's what gets people who. He doesn't do day trading, but like people who do things like day trading, like you cannot have any emotional or mental influence to do something like that, or else I feel like people will commit suicide with the amount of money they lose.
Have you heard of that new thing I think it's called, I've seen, there's a few, but there's one called Kalshi, and it's like people betting on what's going to happen on an everyday basis, and they like make money. But I'm like, then people are starting to manipulate. Like, they know what's actually going to happen. And so what is that? Like insider trading. Like, that's like the big thing that politicians are part of, where they're like, I have a feeling this is going to go up because I have secret knowledge that the rest of the public doesn't know. It's fucked up, man.
Yeah, I don't understand how it's legal. I don't.
I don't know.
The insider trading, it makes no sense to me. I don't think any of like people in Congress and all of that, they should not be allowed to
They should not be allowed
have
to
stocks.
have stocks. No, period.
I don't get it.
It's
Okay.
fucked up.
Well, really quick, I wanted to talk about so I'm on my 2nd month now of consistently working out. And,
Yes.
I'm getting gains on my butt. I did my measurements the other day and I thought I was 2 inches on my ass, but I was 1.5 inches. So now
that's
I'm
so
officially
amazing.
2 inches growth on my butt. But something
You're
that
gonna need a workout routine, okay, or something.
yes. But something that I didn't really realize was how hard my butt is when I flex it, I guess.
You're a rock.
Yes, I thought that was kind of normal. So I was like, I went up to Khalil and I was like, oh my gosh, feel my butt. And he touched it and he was like, wait, what the fuck?
I know.
And I was like, my butt, it's hard, right? And he's like, wait, no, yours is not normal. And then he flexes his butt and Khalil has a dump truck. Like he has a shelf back there, but he flexed his butt and it's hard, but I'm not joking. Mine is like an actual rock. And now I need to touch other people's butts because I don't know if my butt is somehow just.
I feel like I have a really, really hard one. I mean, Tommy's mine's harder than his. Like I'm always really surprised.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, I don't really have much of a butt, but like when I can flex that shit so tight, so hard that
maybe
Tommy
it's a
can't like punch it without hurting
then.
it. Maybe.
Like maybe something to do with like our pelvic bone that we're able to flex it harder than men.
You've been working on yours, so yours is probably like extra hard.
I have been, but like the difference between how hard my butt is compared to Khalil's, like I was shocked because I'm not joking. Khalil's butt is like full muscle. Like I can literally like maybe I could balance a fucking cup on his ass, but I don't know. When I flex,
funny. Like, does he do anything for it?
Well, he does butt workouts with me too, but I think it's a genetic thing because his whole family, they all have dump trucks. So I definitely think genetics has something to do with it, but also he has been working out with me on our little booty workouts. But yeah, my ass is rock hard.
Tommy and I are like 3 weeks into like no sweets at all or no like low carb. Like we're not literally the most boring my diet has ever been, to the point where I'm like, what the fuck? Like I have no interest in cooking. Like I'll just eat whatever's in the fridge as ingredients.
Yeah.
And like so literally meal planning right now is, I can't explain, like the worst possible thing that I have to do. I have to do it later today and I'm like just procrastinating because I hate it so much. But I've started like just doing like dog food, like what you are doing, where it's just like a ground meat of some kind, some veg, some like maybe a sweet potato, whatever. And I try to like season it at least. And I made one the other day that was horrific. It was, I don't know what it was, but like I was using ground turkey and the turkey just was like really turkey-ish. And I just like, you ever like eat chicken and it's like really chickeny and then you're like, oh.
I've had that with turkey, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Tommy and I were eating it and I'm like, wow, this is not good. And he's like, it's okay. It's healthy. And I'm like, yeah, we're like eating it. It's like so sad.
You should try.
Last night, my mom brought like these tiny little chocolates. Have you ever seen the Unreal chocolates that are like healthier from Costco? She brought like 4 of them, like when she was here yesterday, and she left them here. And so I told him, I'm like, oh, look, we have a little dark chocolate and like a little coconut Unreal chocolate. And he's like, oh, wow. And I left the room for a second. He ate 3 of them. And I was like, wait, 2 of those were for me. And he's like, oh, I thought they were all for me. I'm like, what? I was waiting all day. I waited all day after my mom and I hiked around. Like I waited all day to have that. And then he ate it. I was so sad.
Well, I'm proud of you guys. It's tough. I tried to make my first protein coffee this morning, and I gotta work on it. Like I have to do steps to get to the
you're working
healthy
up to it.
part. Yeah. So with my coffee, my normal coffee, I used to do like almost a half a cup of creamer, which is kind of crazy. Think about it now. And now I'm down to 2.5 tablespoons of
Oh
creamer.
shit. Okay.
Yeah, and it tastes delicious to me. But then I decided like, okay, I'm gonna try this protein coffee thing because I want to get my protein in and all this. So I did the what is it? The Fairlife protein shakes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, those are good.
I don't like them.
Those are some of the best tasting ones. So
I know. That's what I hear from everyone. So I did that with my coffee, and it was under 200 calories, which is amazing for coffee. But I still have like this much left. Usually I could finish my coffee like within 30 minutes. This one, I'm like 5 hours into it.
Yeah, I usually have like a coffee flavored protein shake as my first meal. It tastes pretty bad, but it's like you get used to it kind of.
Yeah. I bought some sugar-free caramel syrup too, so that has 0 calories in it, and it's not the worst tasting thing. It has a slight aftertaste, so when you mix that like sugar-free aftertaste with a protein shake aftertaste, it's just, I don't know. I feel like it makes my breath smell like hot ass.
Well, and I feel like I get to a place where I'm like, oh my God, I have all these chores to do. I have all this work to do for my job. I have to make this disgusting food. And then I'm like, oh my God, there's no joy left. Everything sucks. I'm so fucking depressed. And I feel like that's where I've been, where I'm like, food sucks.
Oh, no.
Work sucks. Everything sucks.
I'm gonna send you the recipe that I make for it's my new hyperfixation meal. I told you about it, but it's delicious. So I'm gonna send it to you, and maybe you'll like it. It's super quick and easy to make too.
Tommy is very adamant about this situation that we were in, and he wants everybody's thoughts on who is right and who is wrong. Spoiler,
okay.
He's wrong. The other day, I was on the phone with my brother, who does not live here in this state, but he used to, and he's military, so he's registered to vote in my state. And he got his absentee ballot, and so he was calling me, and he was like, you look like you're listening so intensely. He was calling me, and he's like, hey, can you just talk through some of these candidates on the ballot? I have not been paying attention to, like, you know, your state politics. Can you just talk through them? And I was like, oh, well, I actually can't because they're different candidates than I have on my ballot because I'm registered Democrat. And he's like, oh yeah, you know, he leans more liberal, but he votes as a Republican because it's a red state and it makes more sense. He can vote in the primaries, whatever. And I can't bring myself to do that. Anyway, all that to say, on the phone, it reminded me like, oh shit, I should get my absentee ballot because I haven't done that yet. And I think our elections are next month, our midterms. And, you know, even in a red state, midterms are very important. So as I'm on the phone with him, I go onto the website, you know, the voting website, and I order my absentee ballot, and I say out loud, like, hey, Tommy, we can't forget to vote next month. Like, let's get our ballots. And then I forget about it. I hang up with my brother, go about my day. A few days later, I go to the mailbox, and I'm like, oh shit, my absentee ballot came in. And I go, hey, Tommy, don't forget to get your absentee ballot. And he's like, what the fuck? You didn't get mine too? And I was like, well, no. I don't think I was really, because I have done it before, but I don't think I'm supposed to. And they're like cracking down on like the mail-in voting thing. So like it didn't occur to me to get his too. Plus like just go on the website, put your shit in and get your own ballot. Like, and he's like, how would you feel if I did that and didn't get your ballot? I'm like, you don't even know where to go. You don't even fucking know what website. Like, you have no idea how to do it. So that would never happen. And he's like, well, what if I was on my way home from work and you had told me that you really wanted McDonald's, and then I went to McDonald's and I didn't get you anything from McDonald's? I'm like, that is not the same thing at all. And he's like, yes, it is. And I'm like, no, I think technically I'm not supposed to like fill out your thing to get your ballot. Like, that is a legal document, like, for you. Like, we're not like a married voter couple. Like, we're separate people. Like, I think you are supposed to do it. I did it one time because I didn't trust you to figure it out, but like, I don't think I'm supposed to be responsible for that. And he's like, no, it's the same thing. I can't believe that you would like leave me out like that. And I was like, what? I was so pissed. I'm like, Get the fuck out of here.
can
You can
picture
get
this whole
online
thing.
and go get your ballot. And he's like, I just can't believe you only got yours and didn't think about mine.
Am I the asshole?
If I didn't even tell him that I did it, he'd probably forget that we had an election. Like, he probably wouldn't even think about it. I don't feel like it is my job to request his absentee ballot, okay? Just because I did it one time doesn't mean I'm going to do it every time. What are your thoughts?
Here are my thoughts.
Tell me the truth.
You doing it for him the first time probably set this expectation for him that you're going to do it again. However, he is a grown man. Yeah. He should, at the very least, it shouldn't be on you because, I mean, for one, you're not supposed to. But also, two, I feel like this could have been solved if he said, "Oh, are you doing yours? Or you're submitting your thing? Then I should submit mine too." And then it could have been a way for you to teach him how he could do it. Did you tell him you were? Yeah,
because he's like, "Oh, who are you on the phone with?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm on the phone with Marco. We're talking about voting. By the way, we should get our absentee ballots." And he's like, "Oh yeah." And then I did, because I was right there. So I just did it really quick.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to say...
But you're right. It's because I did it the first time.
Tommy is the asshole in this, but he had an expectation that you set for him, and it was never established.
That's why you can't ever be nice and do things for people, because then they just expect it.
I know, dude.
Anyway, everybody, if you have an election coming up, go get your absentee ballots or make plans to go vote at your polling place because it's important.
Yeah, it's coming up. This is the midterm, so this is very important.
This is important, man, especially if you live in a swing state. Go do your civic duty.
Arizonians
out there. How much longer we're going to be able to do it. Come on, Arizona. Yeah, that's right. You guys are a purple. Not a purple. Yeah, purple. A swing state.
Yeah, we are, but like... it doesn't feel like it. It feels like we're a very red state. Okay. So before we go into our main topic of the day, I want to address this with you because I don't think you're in touch with the Twitch/gamer/streamer drama. Okay. There is currently a lot of ongoing drama. So I'm going to tell you what's happening, and I would like to hear your thoughts on the reaction of people. So there is this streamer named Sykkuno who got pretty big during like the COVID era where a lot of people started playing that game Among Us. He was part of this crew that really capitalized off of that game. And his whole persona is like being this soft, like awkward, shy boy, and he's, I guess, like intentionally cringy, like the things that he says, and he just comes off as this dude who's never like been with a woman before. That's his whole thing. And he's 34 years old, I think, right now, by the way. Recently a girl came out with a statement saying that he's a serial cheater, how he went after her, like got her attention, started pursuing her, and they had I think an online relationship or something like that. I don't know all the nitty-gritty details, but it turns out that he actually has had a girlfriend through this entire, like the last 6-7 years that nobody knew about, I guess, including his close friends who are also popular streamers, had no idea he had a girlfriend. It turns out that he's been going after legal but younger, they're called VTubers, which are people who stream with like a anime filter or something. Like they don't stream their actual faces, they stream as like cartoon characters. And he goes after like these specific communities, and he's like this serial cheater. And a bunch of girls started coming out and saying like he preys on them, and like they say that he's a predator because he was pursuing these relationships without these girls having any idea that he had a girlfriend. And he would tell them,
so he had a girlfriend the whole time and then cheated on her with all of these VTubers. Other people, but then cheated on like them all with each other?
Yes. Yeah. Like a bunch of these girls thought that they had this exclusive relationship with him. And he is a big, big, big streamer now, by the way. I think like he
What's his
peaked
name again?
at Sykkuno. Sykkuno.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. When he started getting big, actually, that's when I would see his content come up often. And he does just kind of have this very, like, I'm a very soft-spoken, sweet, shy boy. Anyways, and then this girl came out with a video basically saying that he invited her over to his hotel when he was visiting, I guess, the state that she was in. And he invited her over to watch movies in his hotel room. And, you know, they're sitting on the bed together. And he started pursuing her, you know, to do something physical. And she was saying that she didn't want to. However, she decided to just give him a blowjob to I don't know, so that she didn't have to, so she didn't have to do anything with him. And then the next morning, she said, like, she really didn't want to, but she was, like, regretting her choices or whatever. But then they ended up having sex, and
How does that happen?
I don't know. She made a comment that she's hard at hearing, and he asked her if he could inside of her, and she said that she didn't know what he was really saying, but she just said yes. And so he inside of her. And then afterwards, she asked him if he had a girlfriend. And he said no. This is just all. She came out with this video. When that video came out, it was this like war between people saying he's not a predator just because you regret sex with him. You can't do that. And then you had this other half that was like, that is predatorial behavior. You lying about not having a girlfriend and making the girls you're pursuing thinking that you're single and just want to be with them is predatorial behavior. And then I think it was yesterday, a girl came out with another message that he started talking. He reached out to her when she was 17 and he was 28, and they had this friendship. She made it very clear that nothing happened sexually between them, but he reached out to her when she was 17, and he would like compliment her hair, and they would play games together all the time. And then once like a few years later, I think 5 years later, he then pursued a sexual relationship with her. And there are so many people, I think, who don't understand the definition of grooming.
I was going to say, that's
because
classic grooming.
So many people are coming out and saying they're calling this girl a clout-chasing whore because she's coming out with this statement. And I'm just like, do you guys not... Grooming doesn't mean that you're doing anything explicitly illegal or that you're doing anything sexual with them. It's you are gaining the trust of a minor to then you're going to take advantage of the relationship that you've built with them.
Power dynamic.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he pursued her afterwards. And there are so many people. Oh.
The thing is, she could also be a clout chaser.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean that he wasn't grooming her.
Exactly.
And it doesn't make it okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but I have seen this happen so many times where it's like the sweet little innocent boy that no one would assume is whatever. It's all a fucking facade.
Yes.
And they're usually shitty people.
Yes.
And I just feel like I want to be clear though, like I'm not saying that anybody involved with him or any of these girls don't also have some responsibility in like, okay,
like decision making and stuff.
Yeah. Yes. And I don't think it's okay when consent is like a really, it should be a black and white thing, but it's not, because people often say yes and then regret later. But I feel like if you say yes and regret later, that's different than saying no and then having it happen anyway. So like, whatever. It scares me that okay, do you remember Love is Blind? That one guy that completely created a whole new personality. What was his name? Chris?
Oh, yes.
That made a whole new personality to like gain the trust of that girl, pretended
Mhm.
that he was like politically aligned with her and whatever, and
Mhm.
it turns out he's like a horrible human being.
Mhm.
I feel like people are like boys and men are now using the whole like women like when men are a little softer. Like I feel like they're using that to manipulate women. And that's what's happening here.
Yeah. I had a conversation with Khalil about it, how like I hate when guys say shit like, "Oh, women don't ever pick the nice guys. Like they want guys who treat them like shit." And I'm like, here's the thing, right? These dudes are treating women like shit regardless. So if I, as a single woman, have to choose between a hot guy that treats me like shit and
I'd
an
rather have a
ugly
hot
guy
guy.
that treats
Yeah,
me like
absolutely
shit,
so
I'm
true.
gonna pick the hot guy.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that pick a dude that treats you like shit, but like,
It's
come
hard not to.
on. If
It's
y'all
hard
are
not to.
being shitty men, then why the fuck
I
not?
think that's why there's this shift of women that are like, he needs to be 6'5", he needs to have this amount of money. Because like if you're already gonna get treated like shit, you might as well get something out of it. I think
Mhm.
that's the mentality. Like
Yeah.
no one's gonna meet their soulmate and like love a person and then find out he's a little too short and doesn't have enough money and be like, never mind. But like if you're gonna get treated like shit anyway, and most of the time you are, you might as
Yeah.
well go with the hot guy with the lots of money. Like
Exactly.
that's
This
just
is
that makes
why
sense.
I am excited though, because we are going to be doing an interview with one of my friends who is currently single and trying to navigate through dating right now as someone who's, I think he's 28. So I'm very curious to hear his perspective and also like, what is it realistically like, right? Because us being with our partners for since we were teenagers, I think it's really hard to understand what it's actually like. Like we have this idea where it's so simple. Just do these things and you can meet your spouse, or you can like, it doesn't have to be complicated, but I think there's a lot of nuances when it does come to dating as an adult, because you already have kind of your life figured out and situated. Whereas like when we're talking about like your morals, your politics, your money, like all of that stuff didn't matter when I was Khalil, 16 years old.
No, not at
that
all.
stuff didn't matter. So none of that was established. And versus like if you're like a 27-year-old, 28-year-old meeting people, those things do matter. So I'm very curious to hear about it and I'm excited. But
Yeah, me too. I'm excited to talk to like, especially with men, because I feel like right now is it's a tough time for everybody young that's trying to find someone, because I feel like women are always on the defense and men are always on the defense. And I've seen so many people like post their conversations with someone they're dating online and they're like, what do I do? Like it's obvious that people don't know how to like navigate conflict with other people in this age, which is bizarre to me. I remember like there were very few instances when I was growing up where I had to ask a friend like, how should I respond to this boy on this text? Like I didn't do that a lot. I just kind of responded.
You just kind of responded to them without the opinion of thousands of people.
Yes, and I just feel
That's
like
weird.
we're losing kind of sight of our own intuition and like I don't know. It's
No, I understand.
complicated.
That's scary to think about. So yeah, we'll definitely have those conversations with him and hear. I would also love to hear from a man's perspective of what it's like, just because I feel like having honest conversations with men on this subject is hard to have, especially for us too, where we are surrounded by a lot of women. So
yes,
I'd like to hear it. Okay, do you have any other strays for us?
No.
Okay, I'll get into my word of the week then.
Yes, word of the week. Word of the week. I look forward to this every time.
My word of the week is wistful.
Wistful.
This is an adjective full of yearning or desire tinged with melancholy. And I feel like this is a lovely conversation to have because Chloe and I are now at the age where, I mean, I'm pretty sure our prefrontal cortex is fully developed.
Our frontal lobes, yeah.
Yeah. And so we wanted to kind of compare, where we were when we were younger and as kids to kind of what our perception of life is now. And just for people who don't know, I think it's becoming more and more common now to understand how important your prefrontal cortex is. This is the last part of your brain that fully develops, and it usually happens in your mid-20s. So I think on average it's around 25, but I've also read that women's prefrontal cortex develops faster than men, but like on average it's in your mid-20s. This part of your brain is its functions are attention, decision-making, emotions, goal setting, self-control, and working memory. So this part of your brain is really important specifically for making important decisions. And I think that's why prior to your prefrontal cortex developing, a lot of people make, what's the word? When you do something suddenly.
Impulsive.
Yes. Like a lot of your impulsive decisions or choices that you make kind of happen and you don't realize the consequences of them. And that's why I think that is. I always have an issue with an adult being 18 years old because you still have on average 7 years of brain development. So how do we say an 18-year-old is supposed to be fully capable of taking care of themselves? But,
and you know what's fucked up too is like when you're 18 to 22, what are you doing a lot? You're partying.
Yes.
I feel like that impacts your brain development and is also like when bad decisions happen. And so I feel like it's like the worst time to turn a person loose into the world by themselves.
I know. And it's tough, dude. That's why I understand, like, if you're 22, you're expected to be an adult, especially I think a lot of people, not a lot of people now, but people have lived on their own for like 4-ish years by 22 and you've graduated college and you're like expected to be this fully functioning adult. But oh my gosh, 22-year-old me was a wee little baby and I was
a baby.
Yeah, and that's why I have a really hard time judging people for like making stupid decisions when their decision part of their brain isn't fully developed, but like we treat them like they're supposed to be. And I just try to have, I mean, obviously it depends on the context of what the bad decision making was, but man, 22 years old and you still have on average another 3 years left until your decision making part of your brain is fully developed, and we're expecting them to make hard life choices at that age. It's scary. But
you know what's interesting though? I found out about this about a year ago and it blew my mind. So women typically develop their prefrontal cortex, earlier than men do.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you have ADHD. Apparently, women with ADHD might not have it fully formed until 35. It develops much later.
Oh
but
my gosh.
In turn, because it develops, like fully finishes developing much later, it means that your brain will age a little bit slower, or like you'll age mentally slower than neurotypicals.
Okay.
But I'm like, this makes a lot of sense because I actually feel like I did go through a big transition period in my early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
But I also felt like I went through another really big one in my, like, at 30. Like, 30 to... I'm still in it. And I'm still like, why the fuck don't I know what I'm doing yet? Hello? I'm like almost geriatric. If I were to have a child right now, like, they'd be like, damn, your eggs is old, but my brain is still a baby.
That's so
I also saw like an article that was freaking out about how the teen birth rate has slowed down so much, and I'm like, that's amazing. That's fantastic.
I know.
Hello? Why are we upset about it?
I saw a snippet, so I'm not sure if I'm missing context from it, but this dude saying the problem is women from the ages of 16 to 20 are not having as many babies, and I'm like, the problem?
Yeah.
That's a solution.
Yeah, bitch, that is the goal. Hello? They talked to us about teen pregnancy forever, and now it's down, and they're like, oh no.
Wait, no, we need...
Who's going to populate the earth?
We need children mothers. It's
Jesus Christ.
Icky. Okay, well, we did come up with kind of, some topics about how things were back then versus how they are now. So, Chloe, how would younger you feel about where you are right now with your life?
I think about this a lot because younger me was not a plan ahead kind of girl.
Mhm.
I don't think younger me saw myself past the age of 25.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't think she would. I think she'd be like, hell yeah, but also like, that's all. Younger me thought I was gonna be like rich and famous and cool and important and
What age are you thinking of when you're considering younger you right
like
now?
15, 16.
Okay, yeah.
Like I think younger me thought I was gonna be a more prominent figure in the world of some kind with
Hmm.
no plan behind it or reasoning of any kind. But like,
Yeah.
I think everyone, I don't know, maybe it was just me as a teenager, but I was like, I'm destined for great things. But I had no plans to do anything.
Yeah.
So,
It was
which
just kind of
actually
just yeah.
still applies. I have like big plans and no way to get there. But I think
Oh,
she'd
man.
be surprised. Surprised and delighted. And
Yeah.
also disappointed a little bit because it's not that
Oh.
exciting. Well, 'cause
Honestly, boring is a good thing though.
yes, it
If your
is.
life is boring, I think that means that, you have stability.
Yes, and
And
I think
because when I
stability
hear
is
about
wealth.
people who have exciting lives and I'm like low key a little bit jealous, I'm like, dang, I wish I had that much going on. It's because there's a lot of bad choices being made
Yes,
and just, a lot of like, I don't think we give ourselves enough credit for living such a stable life that sometimes we're just kind of
agree.
like, are we this boring, like, are
Yes,
me and Kala, are we just this boring married couple? Like, because we came back from the basketball game, we came home at like 11, I think. And the next morning I woke up and I was like, oh my God, I feel like I have a hangover. Like, I didn't drink a thing of alcohol and I'm just over there like that was the craziest night of my
that
life.
took a
And
lot out of me.
we didn't do much,
I
but
know.
I think it's a good thing to have that stability where, there's your body isn't constantly like in this
Fight or
holy
flight.
shit mode,
Yeah,
or a lot of things are happening. But yeah, I think for me too, when I was younger, I kind of just expected like to just be there. Does that make sense? Like
yeah,
I would picture my parents, and also that's another thing. I just assumed my parents had it all. Like they knew exactly what they were doing, that
100%.
it like if you were just a good citizen that didn't get arrested and didn't lie, steal or cheat, like everything that you wanted in life would just show up on your lap and you're like, "Oh, yep,
Totally.
I'm an adult now." Like it just happens like this. And then as I continued aging, I was like, "Oh, I actually like have to put work in to do something." And oh, I actually
Yeah.
have, it's funny because even as a child I would think like, "Man, I can't wait till I can just eat ice cream whenever I want and when I could just have friends come over whenever I want." And now the idea of like having friends just like stay the night at my house and like eating ice cream for breakfast terrifies me. I'm
Well,
like,
and that I
hell
think one
no.
of our questions is like how things are different than we thought they would be. But
Yes.
that's one of the things is like, I remember being so excited to be able to do whatever I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But then as an adult, you realize the consequences that come with those things. That's
Yes.
that's why adults don't do them. Like, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I can eat cake whenever I want. I'll buy a whole cake from the store and I'll
Yep.
just like eat it for breakfast or
Mm-hmm.
eat ice cream whenever, or I'll drink as much as I want. I'll stay up all night. Like, I won't have a bedtime, blah, blah, blah. And then you get older and you're like, oh my God. I can't fucking function. Like, I had a sip of
Yes.
wine yesterday and I had a migraine for like 36
That's where
fucking
your
hours,
migraine
bro.
came from.
A sip of red wine from a box.
Oh
Bro,
my
it
gosh.
fucking wrecked me. So now the decisions that I am grappling with are like, should I become a fully sober person and never have alcohol again? Because it makes you feel like shit.
Yeah.
I wish I could just party and drink and not sleep and whatever. If I get a shitty night's sleep, bro, good
Oof.
fucking luck to me the next day. Okay? I might have to work from my bed, laptop
Oh my
in
gosh,
bed with my
right.
robe and like shorting out. That's
Mhm.
why adults are boring, because having fun is painful.
It is, dude. I remember thinking to myself when I think I was like 11 years old. I was like, I'm gonna have all the puppies in the world. Like,
Oh
whenever
my
we would go buy a pet shop, I would be like, can we please get the dog? And my parents are like, no, we can't. And man, when I'm 18, I'm getting as many dogs as I want. And then, our latest dog, Curry, I can't imagine having more. I can't imagine redoing that whole process of
It's so
training him.
much.
It is a lot. Can you imagine if you have 6 dogs all at one? I mean, my
No.
neighbors do it, but that's a lot of fucking dogs, and I wanted
so
it as a kid.
Well, and every time, that's the thing with having children, this is how I feel too, but like when you have pets, you can't just do whatever you want. Like Tommy and I
No.
can't just go out all day and stay out all
Mhm.
night and go get dinner and be with our friends. Like every single thing we do, we have to think about the animals being at home by themselves and how
Yeah.
we're responsible for stimulating them, making sure they can
Mhm.
exercise, making sure they're fed on time. Like they rely on us.
Yeah.
We can't just go on vacation whenever we want. Like I have to make sure that the people I trust to watch them, which are
Yeah.
my parents, are
Mhm.
available. I can't
I
just dump
know.
them at any boarding facility. Like that's not going to work. It's not good
That's
for
very
them.
true.
So like there's actually a lot that having a pet, as fun as it is, and I feel like when you get older, like it's one of the first things that you do. You're like, this is going to be my decision. And I remember I got Grizzly at 19 and my parents were like, don't do it. And I know why. Because
Mhm. It's a lot
suddenly
of
I
work.
couldn't just go out and do whatever I wanted. I had to always think about my pet at home.
Yep.
And
It's a
everything's
lot.
like that. Everything.
Yes.
Having a
Everything has
home, you got to do all the yard work.
consequences.
No one's going to fucking mow your lawn for you, dude. You have to do it. And if you're
Mhm.
gone for a couple weeks and you're not going to be able to mow your lawn, you have to like figure out someone to come do it for you while you're gone. If
Yep.
not, your HOA fucking loses their shit,
Oh my
and then your
God.
neighbors get mad. And it's
Yep.
like, that's the thing, is like, I didn't realize how many consequences there were
So
for
many.
everything. Like the most, not even just
Everything.
doing something wrong or risky. Every decision has a consequence.
Yep.
I feel like my entire like daily life is weighing which consequence is worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, for me, waking up in the morning, I'm like, I could wake up extra early, get less sleep, but then have a workout. But
Mhm.
then after my workout, I'm going to need a shower because I have meetings that day.
Mhm.
So do I do that and then have to shower and then I have meetings and then I'm extra tired? Or do I get my sleep and then work out in the evening? But I'm like, if I'm working out in the evening, like I have to fucking rearrange my evening. Everything is such a fucking hard decision.
Oh my gosh. And then can we talk about just having to figure out what to eat every day?
Oh, that is like, no one, this is the we have a question here, like, what's the hardest part about life? And this is my non-serious answer. The hardest part about life is figuring out what the fuck to eat every day. I swear to God. I don't know if it's just me. It is, you can't just not eat.
Yeah.
You can't just eat out all the time.
And you want to nourish your body.
You want to
too.
nourish your body.
Yeah.
You have to think about nutrition and fucking fiber. Because if you
Damn,
don't think
dude.
about those things, you can't take a shit. And if you can't take a
I
shit, you're having a
know.
bad day.
It's
so hard.
crazy. There are so many things that I didn't consider. And
I
then
know.
I tell myself, "Oh, I have all this time in the world. I'm going to do my laundry, I'm going to vacuum, I'm going to do this, this, this." And then I finish one task and I'm like, "Well, shit, I still want time to read my book." And then I'm like, "Oh, well, I got to do homework a little bit today." And then my day's over and I didn't do shit because I
And
was
then you
over
go
there trying
back
to
to
figure
work.
out what to do.
Yeah.
I don't know. It
Time
is
management is the hardest thing and I'm already someone who's bad at managing my own time. But then you spend all this time trying to plan things, and like you're great at making lists and whatever. But then after you make the list and after you make the plan, you have to actually do the thing.
You have to execute it.
Which is the worst part.
You're telling me I
It's like
couldn't just make the
pre-gaming the
list?
task with more tasks. Fucking stupid.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, I think having to figure out what to eat every day is one of those things that I just did not think about as
Yeah.
an adult. Okay, what are things that you do prioritize as an adult now?
Something that this is more recently, like it's more something I'm aware of, but
Mm-hmm.
one thing I prioritize a lot is downtime.
Yes.
Making sure I just have time to fuck around and do nothing,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes it's really great for me to be busy, like mentality wise, like I don't have time to like sit and wallow and wonder and whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
no matter what, I feel like so drained if I never have time to just like chill and do
Yeah,
nothing. And that means sometimes that means
1,000%.
like saying no to plans. Sometimes that means like, sometimes things in around the house don't get done.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't get to do, things that need to be done because you have to prioritize, your downtime. But like, which is something I never considered when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like, I thought I was going to have unlimited free time as an adult. Like, I just didn't really
Yeah.
consider that weekends are spent doing all the things you're too tired to do during the week.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think downtime is something I really prioritize, and then just like quality time with people I love. I think as you
Aw.
get older, you realize, oh man, my parents are getting older.
It's
My
so sad.
siblings are getting older. I don't know what's going to happen.
There's this trend on TikTok right now. It's called growing up in the 90s with a butter mom.
Oh,
And
yes.
it's just and it's playing the Shania Twain song that my mom would listen to all the time. And I just think back to like my childhood, and like I just picture we were living in Japan at the time, but like my mom's like her mom jeans that she would wear, and like the different kinds of food she would make. And it just life just felt so much more colorful back then. I don't know how to
Yes.
describe it. And I think something that I'm mourning as an adult right now is so I don't think Khalil and I want to have kids. I think that's something that we're coming to the conclusion to. And I think in my head, I was expecting that if I had kids, I was going to raise them as if it were the 90s.
Yes.
And like I crave to give them the childhood that I had. And
Yes.
realizing that that's not possible
No.
is also something that, because like, weighing your pros and cons of having kids, the pros were I would get to raise them the same way that I was raised, and realizing that I'm not gonna be able to do that. That's kind of like a thing that I'm mourning right now. And it's just sad to think about it. Like,
Well, and even I feel like even if you would have been able to, there's no way to know if your kids would appreciate it the same, because to them they
yeah.
probably feel like they're being raised as if like think about it, it's the same as if like your parents raised you the way they were raised in like the 70s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you as
Yeah.
a kid you'd be so annoyed. But I
Hmm.
did see this mom on TikTok. This is such a brilliant idea, and this made me want to have kids just so I could do this. But she has like an annual 90s week in her house and
Oh.
the kids get all jumped up about it, where they don't have access to their like phones or iPads or anything. All they can watch is like what's live on TV on the channels.
Hmm.
And they can't listen to music unless it's on radio. Like, they each get a little radio that they can listen to.
Yeah.
And they basically turn off their internet that week, and like whenever they want to get on the internet, they like go to the library and like use the library computers and stuff.
That's
And
cute.
it just seems, it's to me it's like, my god, they're cosplaying our culture like that we
I
grew up
know.
with. But I'm like, honestly, I say it all the time, but if I could go back, if I could press a button and send us all back to that time, or like at least get rid of the technology that is making this time not that time, I would do it.
Hmm.
100%. I think it was better. I think
Yeah.
life felt slower. Like, I don't know about you, but every single day seems to fly by.
It gets faster and faster.
Faster
I
and faster and
know.
faster. And I'm like, it's
It's
fucking mid-April, bro.
it's to the point now where like I used to be the type of person where I'm like, man, work, I hope the week flies by. I hope the week flies by. It's to the point now where I'm like, I don't care if it means I have to do more work. I want it
like,
to
slow
slow
down.
down.
Yes.
Please. I had a dream the other day that kind of made me spiral a little bit, but like I was seeing myself age, and like I was like, wait, it's already next year, and it's like, oh my God, wait, 10 years has already passed, and like I saw my parents aging, and it made me like just
That's
so
how it feels.
sad. And I don't know, the idea that time is fleeting, and you can't escape time. It's a scary thought. But I think, in order to appreciate good things in life, all good things must come to an end. But it's just scary to think about.
I know.
Is this what midlife crisis is? Because I'm freaking out already thinking about, like, I'm going, like, there's one thing guaranteed in life, and it is death.
Yes.
You can't
I feel like
escape
we're
it.
speeding toward it.
You're going to lose the people that you love. It has to happen. But it's just
I kind of
really
think
scary
about like,
thought.
oh my God, kind of all I have waiting for me is losing everybody I love. Because if I don't have kids, which is very unlikely at this point, I'm kind of in a waiting period now because there's not a lot of like life stages in between now and like losing my parents, losing other family, like losing. I feel like it's speeding toward me in a really scary way, and I'm not ready. I'm not ready, and I'd like to pause. And I think one of the things I long for like every single day is just the ability to like stop time and just take a deep breath, because it feels like everything's coming at us so quickly. And I also feel like, people are already talking about like fall 2026, and I'm like, hold on, I thought we were still in spring 2024. What the fuck is going on?
I know, and the whole point of looking forward to it was because of how far away it felt.
Yes.
But now it's like if we're gonna start talking about fall, it's gonna feel like it's already fall next week because of how fast time is going.
Yes.
And it's kind of losing the magic of like waiting for the things that we were excited for. You know what I'm saying? Because of how fast time is going by, like the holidays would feel so special to me. One, because my parents would make it so magical, but two, like because it felt so far away. I'm like, oh my gosh, Christmas and Halloween is in years from now. And now it's like Christmas and Halloween are days away.
I know.
That's what it feels like. And I don't know. Okay, can we go into something happy that
Yes.
that
should we talk
isn't
about
gonna make me spiral?
what's great about being an adult?
Yeah.
There's a lot of great things. Of course, now I can't think of them. Hold on. No, there's great things. I
Being
think
able to buy whatever you want.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, if you're not worried about your budget,
I'm sorry. I
whatever.
cut you off. And
no,
go
it's
ahead.
fine. I think something that makes me really happy is in this age, this very specific age I'm starting to understand like the beauty of life and how even really difficult things are like so amazing. Like for me, I think about how amazing is it that we get to experience every single one of these emotions and experience like the lowest lows and the highest highs, and how beautiful is this planet and all the places we get to visit, and like trees, grass, like flowers. I feel like as you get older, like when you're a kid, you're just like, oh, this is like a really common thing, like flowers, trees, whatever. As you get older, I feel like you really stop to appreciate things. Like Tommy and I will go outside and just like listen to the birds and try to figure out what kind of birds are coming to our yard. And it's just such a beautiful part of life, is like learning to appreciate everything around you.
Yes.
Or just like being more aware of things, like seeing planes in the sky. I've talked about the planes already. Planes have been around a long time. This is not groundbreaking shit. I feel like every time I talk about this, people are like, yeah, it's a plane, whatever. It's like a car in the sky. But I'm like, but it isn't. It's like this beautiful, insane invention that we have figured out how to, like, transport people so many miles away. And I just feel like we don't like marvel at it enough. But as I get older, I'm marveling at all these things that are just super
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm like, oh my God. Like,
Mhm.
I think that's what I love about it. Like when I was a kid and my parents took me to a cool like historical location, I was like, I don't give a fuck about this. Like, where's the
Yeah.
playground? Where's the mall? And now I'm like, oh my God, look at this rock that has a carving on it from 10,000 years ago. Like,
Right.
I'm looking at this rock and someone else was looking at this rock and decided to put their art on this rock. And now I'm looking at it.
That's really
Like, that's so
sweet.
cool. I fucking
Yeah,
love that.
I was gonna say, I think like at my age now, I'm really starting to appreciate like my curiosity and discovery
Yes.
for things. I started listening to like older music. Like, I mean, I've always liked the Beatles, but I'd never really paid attention to their music, really.
Yes.
But
Because it
like
was like, oh,
now,
that's old people music. Yeah.
exactly. And like now listening to it, I understand when people say like, wow, they were really ahead of their times, or like ABBA. I, I
Yes.
I'm
So
like
good.
getting this new sense of appreciation for the things that it didn't matter to me back then. But just like all these, it feels like a new discovery. Or even sometimes when you watch an old film that you grew up
Yeah.
watching and you were just kind of entertained by it but didn't understand the story of it. I have like this newfound appreciation, and I
I
kind of
used
like that.
to, um, when we were growing up, magazines were really popular. And like, I
Hmm.
remember liking magazines when I was younger.
Oh
And
yeah.
they kind of just like went away. Like, you can still get magazines, but a lot of them are digital now or just
Hmm.
online or whatever. Something I've rediscovered is how much I love physical magazines. Like, when
Hmm.
I go to a doctor's office and they have physical magazines, like the ones I grew up reading, and they're still
Yeah.
in print on the table, I get so fucking excited. I'm like, oh my God, look at all this amazing fucking content in these pages. It's like a mini book, just
Hmm.
full of, there's like little quizzes and little joke pages and whatever. And I'm
Yes.
like, oh my God, I miss magazines so much. And I never knew how much until I like rediscovered them,
Yeah. Hmm.
Ugh.
Okay, another thing that I really appreciate now, and something that I used to struggle with a lot, is being perceived. I would avoid things that I truly enjoyed because I would be afraid that it would be seen as stupid. So that also includes music, but that also includes my style, and that just includes literally everything. I don't give a fuck if it comes off as like stupid or cringe to anybody. If I like it, I like it, and I don't care what other people think. That is something that I can appreciate now at my
I'm really
age of
jealous. That is
30.
something I am working on. Maybe this is part of the ADHD delay in the frontal lobe development, because I still really struggle with being perceived, or like, it's getting better, but I still have a fear of like looking stupid or looking cringe or whatever. And I really want to work on that. But that brings me to, our next thing. What are you looking
Hmm.
forward to? One thing I'm really looking forward to is every single time I talk to somebody older, like in their 50s,
Hmm.
and they find out I'm 33, they're like, oh man, you're about to enter the best time of your life. And, everybody always says that. But I've heard consistently that 35 to 45 is like the golden era.
Okay.
And every time I talk to somebody in their 40s, they're like, this is the happiest I've ever been. Like, I
Oh,
can't even compare it. And I'm like, yes, I
that's
can't wait.
wonderful.
Like, I keep forgetting that, like, I'm still, you know, I'm not like a fine aged wine yet. I'm still aging. I'm
You're
still
still
working on it. I'm still
aging. You're
in
still in the
development.
barrel.
Like,
Yeah.
I feel like right now we're in like the preteen part of
Hmm.
adulthood, because we
Yeah.
start adulthood. I think we start adulthood at like 25 as a baby.
Yes. Yes.
And then you get into like, the child ages throughout,
Hmm.
maybe like
Yeah.
late
We're still
20s.
learning about ourselves at
Yeah.
this age.
We're still, yeah. So yeah, I can't believe that we call 18-year-olds adults. Like, there's no fucking way. I think you're an adult at 25, honestly. Maybe
Agreed.
that's why you can't rent a
I
car before.
fully agree. I know. Like, oh, you can join the military at 17, but
Yeah.
you cannot rent a car until you're 25. It makes no fucking sense.
makes
We do
no fucking
not
sense.
put any value on human beings.
You can get a
lives, I
student
swear.
loan that you'll be paying off for the rest of your life at 17, but you can't rent a car
Insane.
for a couple of days.
I'm excited because my mom said that she was her hottest in her 40s.
Oh, that's what I've heard too. I'm so excited to be my
I know. I
mom's
think
in my
society
40s.
has taught women or like trained women to believe like once you hit the ripe age of 25, it's all downhill from here.
Yes.
But I don't believe in that because I think of women like Lisa Vanderpump or like,
Oh, so hot.
okay, Monica Bellucci was
Oh.
always hot, but like
She's still so
once
hot.
she hit her 40s and up, like hot. So
Yes.
I'm excited. I just, there's like a different kind of sexiness to when you're in your 40s and that the wine has aged, the cheese has aged, your peak
Yes.
hotness. So I'm excited for that.
I'm so
too.
pumped for that too.
Another thing I'm excited for is I can make purchases. Like, I know we talk about like, we have to consider budgeting and stuff, but as an adult, I can make those choices. I can make the choice I'm going to save up my money for this and I can get something cool. So something I want to save up my money for right now is I want to get a new piano. And that's what I'm excited for. I'm excited that I can make the choice like, hey, I'm going to get a piano and no one can tell me no. I mean, any purchase that I make, I say I'm going to do it. Yeah, like
when I bought a drone flute.
Yeah. No one's going to tell you no.
No.
Back when you had to rely on like, I don't know, a very, very minimum wage job or your parents' money, you didn't get a say in the things that you got. But now you do. Now you can say, hey, fuck it. I'm going to get Oolong a new little sister dachshund puppy, and who's going to tell you no?
Tommy. No,
she'll
say yes.
I still had that like thought process though, as like even once I was fully I stopped receiving like financial support from my parents. I still in my head was like, oh, I still have to make like I have to ask for permission for certain purchases.
I still kind of feel like that. Sometimes I'm like, there's like a part of me inside, and she's like, don't fucking waste your money on that, you dumbass. And sometimes I just gotta tell her to shut the fuck up. Yes. I have free will, and I will use it the way I want to. Maybe that's why. I think that's why you see so many like older retired men get like their dream car, because I think for so long they had like kids and a family and they couldn't do it, and then they retire and they're like, I'm getting that fucking car.
One of my the free will items that I want to buy, but I can't bring myself to do it, is I want to get a box of like exotic fruits so bad and try them.
Oh my
like
God, fucking do
they're
that.
so expensive. It's like $150 for like 5 pounds of fruit, and I cannot. I'm like, Dova, you need to be responsible. Paying $150 for a box of fruit,
bro.
I know. I really need to. Or like the candied cold smoked salmon that started getting really popular, and it's like I think it's like $50-$60, and like still that part of my brain is like, Dova, is that really something that you need to spend your money on? And I need to convince myself.
I really want to. I remember there's like an influencer that like owned a brand of caviar, and it was like a slightly more affordable caviar, and I'm like, I want that. That was like 3 years ago. I still haven't bought it. I should.
Oh my gosh, I bought some. I think
we should buy it when we're all together and do a taste test.
We should. I need to bring myself
what we're
to
gonna
do it again though, because Safeway sold I guess like cheap trout caviar. It was like $30 for it, and it was but it was cheap, so maybe we can get the good stuff and
let's get the good stuff and do it. I'll get the caviar.
I love watching people like pair them with different items. Oh my gosh.
I feel like, and I'm not I don't love fishy things, but I've heard it's not fishy, but I always think of like a ruffle chip with some creme fraiche and caviar, and I feel like that would be my ultimate food. I'm honestly a little scared.
We should do the caviar and the cold smoked salmon.
We should do it, yes, and the fruit.
And the
order
fruit.
all
Just
three. We'll go in on it together. We'll send it to the Airbnb that you guys are staying at, and we're going to do a fucking taste test, and that's going to be the episode
fucking
we
love
record.
it. I love
we're
that
doing
idea.
That.
We're doing it.
Stay tuned, people. We're going to live our dreams. Make bad purchases together.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well then let's close it off to advice we would give our younger self.
This is hard because I think you said a while back, like, that you would not change anything in your life because if you feel like every decision you made, like, ended up
Yeah.
being, getting you to where you were. And I feel the
Yeah.
same way. So if I had to give myself advice, I'm trying to think of, like, okay, 15-year-old, 16-year-old.
I'm kind of going off script with this, but I don't know. I would just, hug myself and be like, you're going to be good. You're going to be fine. Everything is going to work out, because I had a very doomy younger
You
teenager
did.
era where I didn't think I didn't see a future. So I would go back, hug her, and let her know you're fine. It's okay. But I would really, I don't know why. I think it's just the music I've been listening to, but I want to go and meet like my younger parents. I would just love to go and meet my parents and just hug them and tell them like, you guys were awesome parents, and just
Oh,
know your kids are going to grow up and they're going to be really good, and it's because of you guys. I would love to do that.
that's so sweet.
It just
I
makes me
think
emotional thinking about my parents.
I think I'd love to. I often have a thing where I'll think about my younger self, like when I was like a little kid, and
Hmm.
I felt like my brothers were much older, and
Hmm.
sometimes I was left out of things, and I felt like I've often felt like nobody was listening to me, and like nobody was hearing me, and like nobody valued my voice. Not because anybody did anything wrong, but I just think I feel like I had a lot to say and a lot to offer, and a lot of people just shrugged me off.
Hmm.
And so I often think I want to go back to that child and be like, don't worry. You're not going to
Yeah.
feel like this forever. It sucks. It's going to be fine. You're
Hmm.
going to grow into a really strong person.
Hmm.
Like, all of this will be worth it. And
Yeah.
I think I also would want to go tell that child, get really into exercising. Because one of the things I forgot to mention earlier that I did not realize was going to happen to me is how fucking stupid my body was going to be at this age. Like, if it's not my neck because I slept weird, it's my fucking
Right.
back
Yeah.
because I bent over to pick something up and tweaked my back.
Dude, posture
Bro,
makes
it's
such a difference in
crazy.
your life.
Like, I did not
So
realize
true.
sometimes I'm walking and I walk weird on my foot and my foot hurts for like 3 days. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And it's so much harder to get in shape when you're older. Like, it's
Yes. Oh
so
my gosh. That's
hard.
something Khalil's parents tell us all the time, is
Yes.
like, you need to start, like, if you haven't
Now.
already, do it now. Take care of your body. Make sure you're sitting correctly. Make sure,
Yeah.
like, do all of these things, because they're like, when you're at our age, it's already too late and shit sucks. So that's very important. Make sure you guys
Like, I
you
can't
guys
tell
need to
you,
start getting these lumbar pillows and
bro, I
donut pillows.
do
They're
it
important.
all. I got a cervical pillow for sleeping and it
Hmm.
has changed a lot for me. I think it actually like improved my posture. But like before, like I never thought that sleeping a certain way or that like
Hmm.
weird habits, like the way I sit on a couch, like make my hips tight. And like, oh my God, it's so fucking annoying. So, younger Jenny, if you're listening, get that shit figured out right now. Get in the best shape that you can and just hold on to it. Eat your fucking vegetables because it's going to go downhill so quick.
So quick. Your body is so much more forgiving when you're younger.
I know.
When you age, it's like, oh, you had a bag of popcorn? Well, let me make you constipated for the next 2 days.
Totally, dude. Fucking
It
sucks.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Well, I think I do think that is saying something, though, that for us, like, we would just go back in time and just tell our younger selves, you're doing fine. You're doing amazing.
it's going to be
Because
fine.
yeah, because we are in such good places in our lives now. And I think that that is something that we should be really proud of. And we kind of, like glance over it. We're like, I could be doing better, but we're both doing really awesome. You and I
Both
are
of us
fucking
are
taken
wealthy.
care of. We're taking care of our
Yes.
husbands.
We are. And I feel like we're very wealthy in all of the ways that matter. And
Yes.
like, I mean, I often think about everybody else that doesn't have what we have. And
Hmm.
It's nice to realize like how much you have. I think when
Yeah.
you're younger, you're just like me. I want this, I want that. And then as you get older, I think you're like, this is okay for now. I
Yeah,
can be happy with this for now.
exactly. Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We did not have any tea time entries, hence why we didn't do one today. But make sure y'all are sending us your dramas, okay?
Yeah, send it to us. Come on.
Would appreciate that.
Fill
We'll
out the
see you
form.
guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Until next time, keep your alter egos alive.